Howdy, my name is Justin Sines, your Fortune Urban Youth Agent here in Montgomery County. We're coming to you live on tape from our demonstration gardens here at the Extension Office. In partnership with the Montgomery County Memorial Library System, we bring you another episode of 4-H Agrication, your summer vacation ag education. Today we're going to be looking at beef cattle. Did you know that Texas is the #1 beef producing state in the nation? Later, we're going to travel to Kennedy, Texas to visit my family's cattle ranch to see how we raise cattle here in the Lone Star State. So, without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the JRS Ranch. My family and I run a cow-calf operation with Red Brangus Cattle. Red Brangus cattle are comprised of two breeds, one that you may have heard of, Angus, and the other being Brahman. Now, we all know certified Angus beef. To get Red Brangus, we need to have 5/8 Angus with 3/8 Brahman, and that'll give us our percentages for Brangus cattle. Now, Angus come in two colors. We have the red and we have the black versions. So Brangus cattle can come in both varieties of both black Brangus and red Brangus, what we have here on our place. We chose the Red Brangus breed because we feel they do a little bit better in our South Texas climate. They are heat tolerant, meaning they can be out grazing during the day when we get to the swell of summer. Also, they are better at withstanding some of the disease and insects that we have. So as you can see, our cattle are happily grazing out in our pastures right now. For this video, let's go over a few terms. First, a cow is a female that has already produced a calf. A bull refers to a male. Fun fact, not all bulls have horns. Some cows can have horns. It is more of a breed characteristic than it is a gender characteristic. In fact, our Brangus cattle are what we call polled, meaning they don't have any horns at all. A heifer is a young female that has not produced a calf. Typically, they're going to be 2 years or younger. And lastly, a steer is a male that has been castrated. We refer to all of them as a group, calling them cattle. So we have a cattle ranch with cows, bulls, steers, and heifers. As mentioned, our cow-calf operation is where we have mama cows on pasture all year round. They are expected to produce 1 calf per year. Now that calf is going to stay with them for 6 to 8 months before they are weaned off of milk. We then take them to our local auction barn where they are sold to become stocker calves. Stocker calves spend the next 4 to 6 months on pasture as they continue to grow. The next segment is then the feedlot, where they are fed a high-protein grain diet to finish growing. From there, they'll head over to the processor and then our local grocery store and restaurants for us to enjoy. Now, most of our cattle are red, so you may be wondering, how do we tell them all apart? We use 2 ID systems. One is being brands, and the other that we use more often are ear tags. Brands can be applied using 2 methods, a freeze brand or a hot brand. Freeze brands require liquid nitrogen to get the iron to an extreme cold. When we press that iron against the hide, it's going to cause those hair follicles to lose their pigment. Thus, the hair is going to grow back as white hairs in the shape of that brand. A hot iron is the opposite. It uses a heat source to get up to extreme temperature. When pressed against the hide, it's going to cause those follicles to die and not grow back, leaving the shape of that brand. Brands are what we call a permanent ID, meaning they cannot be removed, whereas ear tags can be either cut or sometimes cattle will lose them when they're out in the pasture. Now, our system, we use a universal ID, meaning we have a designated letter for that year. For 2021, the designated letter is J. We have 2 systems, one for our bull calves, one for our heifer calves. Our bulls get a single-digit number followed by the letter based on birth order. Examples are going to be 1J, 2J, 3J. Whereas our heifers are going to get a 3-digit number based on the last number of the year, followed by the designated letter. So for 2021, our numbers are going to start in the 100s, and it'll be 101J, 102J, 103J. and that's how we keep track of all our cattle here on the ranch. As I mentioned, our cattle are on pasture grass all year round. But during the winter months, when it freezes, our grass sometimes will die off, and we do have to supplement with hay that has been cut in the spring and summer. They also have access to free-range water and minerals. One thing we do on a weekly basis is we cube our cattle. That is where we feed them a small snack to get them all together so we can do just our routine checks on them. Fun fact, cattle cubes are not actually cubes at all. They are more cylinder-like and resemble an extra large pellet. I hope you enjoyed seeing how my family and I raise beef cattle. It is truly one of my passions. I want to thank you for joining us on this 8-part video series, 4-H Agrication, and I hope you took something away and learned how some of your favorite Texas products are grown or made. If you're interested in joining 4-H and in the 3rd through 12th grade, you can visit montgomerycounty4h.org and fill out our interest survey. We'll send you some information via email. If you have any other questions, you can give us a call at our office at 936-539-7823. And we want to thank you for joining us on this episode and series of 4-H Agrication, your summer vacation ag education.